Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Eden, and this is the Concrete Oasis. Let's show you guys around. This van is a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter 2500. It's a 170 wheelbase, rear-wheel drive, and it's the gas version.
We wanted this tiny space to feel like there was a distinct separation of rooms. We did this by creating a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Just about a year ago, we met someone named Shaden Valentine, and we kept talking about wanting to build a van, and he presented us with the perfect opportunity. He said, come live in my house, build your van around other people who have built vans or are currently building vans, and I'll mentor you through the process. And it was kind of this perfect opportunity, and we just couldn't say no.
Yeah, we really couldn't deny a perfect opportunity that just landed on our doorstep, and it ended up being the best possible way we could have built this van. I mean, if we would have done it on our own for the first time,
I would have quit.
Yeah, she would have quit, and it would have just looked absolutely nothing like this. But thanks to his guidance and the guidance of everyone else that was at the house with us, it made this van astronomically better than it ever could have been, and we learned so much knowledge from these people. And in general, I think building in a community, and pretty much I think this is true for any field that you could be dealing with, but learning from the best in the field is the absolute #1 fastest and best way to get good at a certain profession. I mean, we knew nothing coming into this, but because of the massive amount of knowledge around us, we were able to absorb that and learn so much faster and so much more efficiently thanks to the people that were around us. And I really think it's just the best way you could possibly build a van or learn any profession at all.
So this is our living room. We did a large L-shaped bench. We took a lot of inspiration from Shaden's layout, doing the living room in the front so that the view would be out the side door rather than the back door. Let's start with the most recognizable feature in our van, the concrete finish. This is something called micro cement. It is a finish that goes on top of wood. When we said we were going to be doing a concrete van, everybody was like, what are you doing? Like, you're first time builders, it's going to be a mess, it's going to crack. But this isn't actually concrete, it has different properties. So if you were to put this on a piece of wood, it still bends. It's extremely flexible, which is great while you're driving because the van is going to flex and all of the vibrations over time. So we haven't had any cracking because of that. It is also waterproof, which was a big thing because we wanted our bathroom and the rest of the van to be the same material, so we did need something waterproof. And it's also relatively lightweight. It's just a 3mm layer on top of the wood. It's probably a little bit heavier than paint, but not by that much looking at our total weight. Something that we did learn along the way though, which we couldn't have known before, is the concrete will crack in a very specific circumstance. If you have 2 panels of wood that haven't been joined properly, you will get a hairline fracture there because the panels themselves underneath are cracking, not the cement itself. We are going to make a full review on this product, how it worked, the tips and tricks that we learned, so we'll link the video here when it's available. But overall, we're really happy with how it came out. We wanted to seat and host as many as possible, so you can actually fit about 7 people in the seating area, and it's oriented towards the view in all of the seats still. In this L-shaped seating, we put a lagoon table. It can service the whole entire area. This table, anywhere you sit, you can figure out a way to get the table to work. This is by far, I think, the best seat in the house, right here. Turn this around. Whoop. And then you have the perfect workstation with a beautiful view. So with these lagoon tables, you can't put so much weight on them because they only have one support on one side. But we want it to still look like a big piece of wood. So what we did here is we actually did a 1/2-inch piece of wood on top, and then we did a faux lip here. So only on the perimeter does it have this thick edge. It saves a lot on weight, and it works with the lagoon mount. And it's still lightweight, but looks like a thick hardwood table. We also took that same concept for our bench lip. We wanted it to look like the cushions were sitting on a slab of wood, but it is just a thick edge, and actually underneath is space to grab to be able to lift the benches. This also gave an opportunity, because there's a gap back there, to put some ambient light to shine on the benches at night.
So this is actually our first van build, which turned out to be quite an advantage for us. Because we didn't come from the van world, we actually took a lot of inspiration from the home design world that we're more familiar with. And we'd always really loved the Bali style, Tulum mostly style architecture, and we really wanted to find a way to incorporate that into this van, and we hadn't seen it done before, and we're really happy about how it came out.
So this van was a prime example of what it looks like to balance design and functionality. I was focused a little bit more on the design side of things, and Eden more on the functionality.
For sure.
So we definitely were sometimes going head to head.
But I think we did actually a pretty good job of being able to balance that design and the functionality. And I think the mindset that helped us succeed in that was thinking, how do we make the most functional thing look as pretty as possible? So we didn't want to make anything that was purely just design unless it didn't interfere with anything else. But if it was something that needed to be functional, it'd be first functional, and then how do we make it beautiful?
A really great example of that is our Happy Jack frame. The Happy Jack beds don't actually come with the bed frame itself, so it's on you to build it. And most people do it kind of the same with the wooden slats underneath. We wanted to do something a little bit different. We really love the look of exposed wooden beams in houses.
Yeah.
And we thought this was a great opportunity, since anyways we needed support beams to mimic that look.
So we actually built the entire bed frame out of aluminum beams, but then we covered them in wood veneer, which was Nicole's genius idea. And it actually made it look like exposed wooden beams in a home. And we really love how it came out.
Yeah. And it's super functional, extremely strong, but still beautiful.
Yes.
So now looking at this partition door, first we'll start with the artwork. I hand wood burned this artwork into the van. I thought it was a really great opportunity to add something really unique, and having an art background, I decided to just make this kind of the centerpiece of our living room. It took me about 30 hours, give or take, but it was absolutely worth every second. So we also went with an arc-shaped door. This was a little bit difficult on the building aspect, but it does make it such a nice centerpiece when you're sitting in the living room. So it's really important for us to make this part of the van feel like a tiny home and separate it from the cab driving area. There's a lot of reasons to do a partition wall, but that was the biggest reason for us, so that when you're in this space, you don't feel like you're in a van. Some other reasons are for insulation, like I just opened the door before and it's so hot on that side of the wall and it's cool back here. Also, it's really nice that when you're driving and this door is shut, it feels like you're just driving in a car, you don't hear anything. Our van is quite quiet even when the door's open, but this just adds a whole nother layer of making it comfortable while you're driving. And then on the other side of this door, the back side of the wall is covered in carpeted tweed so that it would match the cab area. This door is built on drawer slides. It slides really smoothly, really nice, and there's actually a magnet on this side that holds it open and a magnet when it stays shut. Some people have commented that this L-shaped seating blocks the partition door. The reason we put the partition door is so that in maybe an emergency, or if it's raining outside, if you need to get from this area to the cab. We don't necessarily use this every day. You can easily hop over this cushion by just resting it down, but our intention wasn't to be passing through all of the time. When we were designing the van, we decided that arcs were going to be the shape that you would see throughout the van, so wherever we could, we added them. So on our windowsills, you'll see them, and also the door and a few other places in the van. We thought if we were to do this kind of frame, it would really feel like a home and just be interesting. We also made inside of these drop-down blackout curtains. So the windows themselves are tinted AMA windows. They can open fully, and they also have the option for mosquito nets. We also decided to put a panel with the same arc-shaped window frame on our sliding door. This was definitely something very difficult to do, but we just could not give up on the view of having the two arched windows and the arched partition door, and thought it just had this like beautiful simplicity, and we just love how it looks. Also, if you want to ride with more people, we do have seatbelts. There are 2 on this bench, and you can have some extra passengers here. So some add-ons to our living room would be these bulbs. I really wanted to find a way to make a hanging light fixture in the van, which isn't the easiest because you're driving and it could be swinging around and dangerous. So the solution we came up for that was just to have hooks and have these battery-operated light bulbs. They just twist on and hook on. We do use these quite often at night because it really does make it feel like a home, because in a van you don't normally have lighting like this, and we really just love how it looks. Another kind of add-on that doesn't really add to the functionality of the living room is these nooks. We tried to find places where we could add to the aesthetic of the van without taking away from functionality, so things like this were perfect. Because we're digital nomads, it was really important for us to be able to charge at the same time. So we did 2 sets of AC and DC outlets. We have USB and USB-C plugs here, as well as cigarette lighter and our AC outlets here. We also have the vent for our heater here and a shore power. And over there is our water fill meter. So what we have under our benches, starting with this curved bench, is our 34-gallon freshwater tank. Then in this bench, we have our full electrical system and a deep storage solution in the corner, as well as our heater. And then underneath me here, we have our slide-out picnic table and storage solution, which I'll show you right now. So this is our pull-out picnic, coffee, cocktail table. When we were doing house life, we always tended to eat our meals in our garden, so we did want to have an extension of our living room out into wherever we just parked for the night. We also have these bar stools which stow away in our garage that have matching upholstery to our pillows, so it all goes together. And the really cool thing about this table is that it is a huge storage. It's just a simple lid that lifts and closes, and then it just slides right back in and locks in place. And we also have a Fiamma F45S awning that slides out right overhead of this table. So, building a van as a couple is the ultimate test.
Yes. Yes, it absolutely tests the relationship in every aspect. It's a lot of stress, a lot of decisions that need to be made, a lot of butting heads on, you know, design versus functionality, or getting things done on time, or how things should be done. Doing something 6 times until it finally worked, and then showing it to Nicole all proud, and she would be like, no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But I think for us, it was really, really great, and ended up being a huge positive experience for our relationship.
And that definitely plays into what building like as a couple really is. Those day-to-day talks and confrontations, and how you're going to communicate why you think something is important, and really being able to sometimes step out, look at the big picture, say, okay, the other person is going to take the lead on this decision.
We really learned how to communicate better and to listen to each other, and there was a lot of things that I, thought I knew what was best, and I just had to like get it done, and Nicole really pushed me to be the best version of myself, and I think the same the other way. And it really just showed how we work as a great team by pushing each other to be the best that we can. So this is our living room, and when we're ready to turn it into a bedroom, at the click of a button, our bed comes down and this turns into our bedroom. We have a Happy Jack bed lift system here, which is just the most incredible system. It allows us to free up this entire space as a living area, but also we have a bed up here. It's a queen size bed, goes up and down at the flick of a button, and we never have to make our bed or convert anything into a bed when we want to go to sleep. We just press the button, it comes down, get in bed. When we wake up in the morning, we don't have to do anything. We just lift it up and it just goes right up. We love this thing. You can put a 4 or 5 inch mattress up here, no problem. Anything thicker than that, you might start taking a little bit away from the headspace. But we have a really incredible 4-inch mattress, and it's super comfortable for us. If you are by chance trying to build one of these things, it was super complicated and there were no instructions online, so I made a tutorial video. We'll link that here. Definitely check it out and watch it before you do it, because there's a lot of really good points in there. And a lot of mistakes that we made that you guys won't have to make because we already did them. Okay, so just for reference, I am 6 foot. And this is the clearance that I have here. It's not too bad. I rarely find myself actually standing in this area. This is usually a place that I'll just sit down, or I'm just passing through to get to the kitchen area. In the kitchen area itself, there's tons of headroom, so there's no problem here or in the bathroom. And here, it's just a little bit of a lean over. I don't mind it at all. Some people will maybe say it's the worst thing ever. For me, it's like absolutely not a problem at all. And this is a sitting area. We sit here, we hang out here. I'm never really standing here. I'm 5'5", and I fit just under these beams. So there's a little bit more clearance in the sections that don't have the beams, but adding the Happy Jack just gives so much more space to the van that it was worth it for us. This is how it looks when the bed is down. It can go a little bit lower than this. This is with the cushions lowered and the table lowered a little bit. We usually just leave it a little bit higher and hop on, but there's also a little stool in here that if you want, you can use it to hop on. But it's a pretty comfortable height to just get right on. This is a queen size bed. We absolutely love it. We also have a skylight up here that we can look at the stars, get some fresh air. It has a built-in blackout shade and also a mosquito net. Up here we also have a headliner shelf that has a ton of deep storage. So we usually just stuff our pillows or anything like that that we need in deep storage and don't need access to. We can just throw it up here. It's really, really big up there. And we have from this bed a beautiful view from our arched windows. They're also big enough to put your phone at night. You can also use the nooks if you want for your water bottle or anything like that. Yeah, we just love it up here. Building around these Happy Jack poles was really, really tough, but having this thing here gave us a great opportunity to hang a magnetic projector from here. We just pop that on, lower it down, and then we can watch anything we want from bed with our mobile projector. So this bed can lower to any height that you want. You can stop it at any stage, which allows us to make this bottom area into a second bed, and then you can leave it kind of halfway and do a bunk bed situation where you have 2 people sleeping on the bottom on a full-size bed and 2 people sleeping up top on our queen bed. When we want to set up the second bed, all we do is take out the additional piece of wood out of this bench right here, screw in some legs to it, and then maneuver the pillows around so that it creates another full-size bed down here.
In the planning stage of making this van, something that was really important to the both of us was that it felt like a home. We didn't necessarily want it to feel like we were in a van. So we did everything that we could to try and block off that it is a van once you're in the inside part. So it could be covering the windows with a different frame, putting the panel on the sliding door.
This partition wall that separates the driving cab from the living area, covering up all the metal surfaces. You won't see a single thing in here that reminds you that you're in a van. You know, like everything just looks like a home. And we really, really felt that that was crucial in building. It is essentially a tiny home inside of a van. It's a home on wheels. So we really wanted it to be as homey as humanly possible. All right, on to the next room of the house. This is our kitchen. The most important thing in this kitchen was for us to be able to cook. We love to cook, so we wanted to have a comfortable cook space. That's why we did a big open working space here right next to the sink. And then on the other side, we put our appliances, our microwave, stovetop, and refrigerator. The next most important thing for us was to have a ton of storage. So we did really deep and long drawers, and all of them are soft close with a really nice latch lock that none of these have ever opened during driving, but just tons and tons of storage, which is really nice. Here we also have our incredible pantry. We love this thing. It creates so much storage in the van, and also has room here for odd shaped things that are tall, like wine bottles and I mean, just pretty much wine bottles. And in here we have our hanging trash bin. Diving a little bit deeper into this side of the kitchen, we have our espresso machine. I cannot go anywhere without my espresso, and our nook here for teas, coffees, or whatever you want to put in here. Then we have a big matte black kitchen sink with a detachable faucet head, which is really nice. And right next to it, we have a water drop filtered water system, so you can have fresh drinking water here at all times. Our upper head cabinets are on gas struts, and they have tons of storage inside, and they lock down so that nothing can fall out. We also went with a hidden handle up here to give it a nice clean handleless look. We also made sure to not make these too deep so that you'd have plenty of headspace when you're working in the kitchen. This is so far away you're never going to actually like bang your head or anything like that while you're working on this counter space. On the other side, this is more our appliance side. So we have our microwave up here that is inset into our cabinetry. Then we have a dual induction stovetop cooker. This thing is really, really great. It doesn't take up too much energy, but we have so much power that doesn't really even matter. And under that, we have an incredibly large and efficient Dometic CRX 110 fridge. This thing is incredible and has so much room in here. We never filled it up to the brim. It keeps us fully stocked for a very long amount of time. Last thing on this side is the pop-up countertop. We wanted to just create a little bit of more counter space here in case you need when you're cooking to put things on the side. So we made this here, and it just stows away just like that. In terms of our little control panel here, we have our inverter switch where we turn on our inverter. We also have our heater control for our Webasto, and we have an AC outlet here and on the other side so that we can plug in all of our appliances, such as our espresso machine, a blender, toaster, anything we may need. As for the design of this kitchen, we stuck with the concrete and the walnut veneer to give it a clean look just like the rest of the van, accompanied by matte black appliances as well as stainless steel. We wanted to keep the amount of colors to a minimum in such a small space. We don't want it to be too busy, and everything just looks really clean and simple. The kitchen cabinets here are actually the only thing in this van that we outsourced. We gave this job to one of our good friends, Ike Baker, who is just a master woodworker, an incredible van builder. If you ever need anything built at the highest possible level of artistry, it's him. Ike, as you can see, he made incredible cabinets. I've never seen cabinets this nice in a van, I think, ever. They're just perfect in any way, shape, or form. Everything is aligned perfectly. There's almost no gap. All the cabinets were made with 5/8 inch Baltic birch. And then he handed it off to us, where we finished everything with the grain matched walnut veneer and the concrete countertops and walls. To spice it up a little bit design-wise here, we added this rattan feature, both on these uppers and in our closet on the other side. We loved how this looked. We saw it in an inspiration photo, and we decided we were going to try and implement it somehow into our van, and we love how it came out. We added a light in the back of all these cabinets and closets to have the light shine through the rattan. It was a lot of work to try and get this both the perfect color and the right amount of light filtration so that you wouldn't see everything that's inside, but you'd still get that really nice ambient light shining through, and it gives a really nice atmosphere, really luxurious and really beautiful when it's dark and the lights are on. Both of these counters also have embedded light strips underneath the upper head cabinets so that when you're working, you have tons of light on what you're doing. Speaking of lights, this whole van is separated into 3 different lighting zones. The lighting controls are right here, 3 different hidden knobs. The first zone is the living room / bedroom area. The second zone is the kitchen and bathroom. And the third zone is all of the ambient light in the van, in the nooks and the toe kicks, inside the rattan features. We can control each one of them separately. We like to sometimes at night turn on just the ambient light. It gives a really, really nice mellow look to the van and to the lighting. All the lights are also, of course, fully dimmable. Moving on to our closet. Again, storage, storage, storage. We wanted to have as much storage as humanly possible in here. And these drawers are massive. They are super deep, super long, and you can just store so much stuff in these. Aside from these 4 huge drawers that we have down here, we also wanted to do a full hanging closet on top. I personally hate folding up my shirts, so we wanted to do a ton of hanging storage here. And also one of my favorite features of this van, and something that we use a ton, which we didn't expect, is this embedded laundry chute. This laundry chute goes straight out to a laundry basket in the garage, and it's as simple as taking your dirty laundry and just boop, throwing it into the back. All your dirty clothes stay in the garage, and everything in here stays clean and smelling good. And the last thing in this area is our AC. This is the Dometic RTX 2000. It's an incredible AC unit that runs off 12-volt power, so you don't have to turn on any inverter or anything like that, and it's super efficient. So with our huge battery pack, you can run this thing forever, and it keeps our van nice and cold on super hot days.
So something that I saw coming from like an art background is how the 1% of like extra effort in certain things add up to way more than you would think when you look at the big picture. For example, spending time on the wood burning, adding the nooks, which Eden hated building, but I was insistent on having, or like little plants, the hanging light bulbs, all of these small little details that maybe don't cost so much or that much extra effort just add up to the whole look of the van to be so much more elegant. Building a van is definitely like running a marathon, so you have to pace yourself, and sometimes as you're building you're like, all right, I'll figure that out later, or whatever, it's good enough. Every time that you leave something for later or you don't finish it perfectly, I promise you're not going to go back to it.
Yeah.
So putting in that extra effort to finish things the right way really just adds up for the whole look to be really clean and really professional.
We were super meticulous about every little detail in this van, and it really, really shows. It's hard to point them out, but when you walk into this van, you just feel it. You see that everything is really, really fine. That was actually Nicole's main thing, is she was very adamant about everything being perfect to every level, even things you can barely see.
Moving to our full-size luxury bathroom. So So the micro cement gave us a really cool opportunity to have our bathroom and our living space all made out of the same thing since it is waterproof. Beyond the micro cement, we also did a Curdy board waterproofing system underneath all of this. So we are double insured, and for our shower pan, we have the Curdy board shower pan, then a fiberglass layer, and then the micro cement. So we are triple insured that there would be no leaks or anything happening there. Most vans have one sink. We decided to go with two. I thought it was super important that the bathroom really felt like a bathroom if this van is a long-term thing, that there was that separation of space. So being able to get ready here rather than in the kitchen sink was a really big thing for me. I don't know if that makes me a bad van lifer, but I wanted to brush my teeth here, not in the kitchen sink. The great thing about having the bathroom in the back also is when you come back really dirty or wet from surfing, you can just hop right into the back and shower, rinse off without having to kind of track all of that dirt or mud throughout the van. Let's start with the vanity. So we made a custom slot sink, and we were able to do this because of the micro cement. We made it all look like one big piece. We love the way that the slot sinks look. They were just super expensive to get and also not kind of compact enough that we needed for this space. So we built it out of wood and then covered it in epoxy and then micro cemented everything together. Moving to the cabinetry section of this, I also thought it'd be really nice that you have all of your toiletries and things that you need to get ready right here in front of you instead of getting it out of some weird storage and then taking it here. We also did a arced mirror to match the arced theme in the van. And we also have a shelf here to store mainly just the pea powder and for aesthetics, but also our toilet paper holder. So you might be wondering where the toilet is. We actually decided to stow it in the garage so that this would be a very large bathroom and shower space, and then when you need the toilet, you just pull it out. So you just unlock this latch right here, open the door, unlock the drawer slides, and our dry flush laveo rolls right on out on 500-pound drawer slides. This thing is an amazing toilet. You can go to the bathroom with an amazing view. It is on the pricier side when you're looking at how much you have to pay for the cartridges as well as the actual price of the toilet, but for us it was just worth it to be able to have this, and you go to the bathroom, when you're done, it just vacuum seals it down, and then when you've finished all the cartridges, there's already a bin in there to just take it out and you just throw it in a dumpster. No smell, no having to turn it, just super simple. For us, it was worth it. So when you're ready to shower, you just shut this Nautilus door. After you've shut the Nautilus door, you just pop this curtain holders open. The curtain slides in front of the vanity to protect the wood. And you have all of this shower space to shower. You can shower just like this with the doors open. We have the vent fan right here, so it does take out all of the steam right above you. But we mainly do just keep the doors open and shower with the view because why not? Moving on to our shower head, we have a Nebbia spa shower. It is a low flow shower head. It uses 1.2 gallons of water per minute, and we have a 4-gallon hot water heater. And then on this wall, we have bottles that are locked into place for your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, as well as hooks for towels. On the floor, we have this outdoor decking. It kind of gives it like a spa feel. As well as the water all drains to a slot drain underneath here. So it's kind of blocked from view and everything just stays aesthetically really nice. Also right here we have our fill line and a quick connect hose. So if you want to spray off a surfboard or anything, you can do it out here, and then this is just our water fill line. Moving on to our garage, we just wanted to have a big storage space. The things that permanently stay in the garage are the bar stools, the vacuum, and the toilet. Other than that, you can kind of find different ways to store things in this area. We also have a big pull-out drawer here. The garage has its own designated light and charging station. So we have the same thing that we have over there, where we have one outlet of AC and one DC outlet with the USB and USB-C, and a cigarette lighter charger. And the last thing, we use this concave space to put T-tracks and can hang stuff, so your helmets, ropes, gear, whatever you want. All of these are adjustable, so you can kind of configure them in any way that works for you.
Okay, so in here, we have our electrical system. This electrical system is pretty robust. We went with 800 amp hours of lithium power. We used two EG4 400 amp hour batteries. These batteries are charged in 3 ways. One of them being the 480 watts of walkable solar that we have on the roof. That's a fully walkable marine grade Merlin solar panels. The second way these are charged are from a DC to DC battery charger by Renogy. It's 60 amps and it charges the batteries anytime the van is driving. And the third way that we have to charge these batteries is through shore power, through our 3000 watt inverter charger by Renogy. We're using a Victron battery monitor to do all the monitoring of the system, as well as a Lynx distributor for all of our different systems. And we have an AC/DC distribution panel here with all of our different circuits in one place. Our 3000 watt inverter powers all of our AC needs, so we have more than enough to use all of our induction, water heater, all that. And we also have an outlet for the heater here, so if it ever gets too cold, we can funnel some of the hot air into this box to heat up the batteries. The whole box is controlled by thermally controlled fans, so if it ever gets too hot in here, the fans kick on and blow out all of the hot air. And yeah, we love this system. It has so much power. We've never dipped below, I think, 80% in a whole day of using AC and everything that we have in the van. So this is more than enough for us to be at least 5 days with no sun, no plug-in, no driving, anything like that. But because there's always sun, because we're always driving, this thing stays topped off all the time. So now that we've finished this van, we are looking forward, and our next big project that we have planned is a tiny home community in Mexico that we're currently in the planning stages of. And we're also considering making more of these vans.
We'll never make this van.
Yeah.
If we were to build another van, it would definitely be another completely unique to itself van.
Yeah, I think we like to keep our designs kind of more like art pieces and keeping them like one-of-one designs that the person who has this van knows that no one else in the world has anything like it. And I think every van we make will probably be the same thing, you know, a different style, maybe similar layout, but a different design inspiration.
The biggest thing for us is that we're pretty nomadic and constantly traveling, and to build a van you have to be in one place.
Yeah.
So for us it's a little bit of a commitment issue, but it is possible. We loved the whole process of this. We would love to do it again and bring in a whole new vision to life, and we're looking forward to it.
Moving on to the exterior of this van, first of all, we'll start off with our suspension system. We upgraded the entire suspension, front and back. We did the Agile off-road rip kit, as well as upgraded to Wrangler Workhorse AT tires. This van, fully built, came in at 8,600 pounds. Fully loaded, water, personal gear, gas, everything like that. So we're well within the weight limitation of this model, but we still decided to upgrade all of the suspension so there'd be a little bit of better handling while driving. As you can see, also, this whole van was covered with an Avery Dennison khaki green wrap that we just love and keep getting compliments on everywhere we go. It's a super unique color, as well as all the trim itself, which was covered in Raptor liner, which is a super rugged coating that covers all these plastic trim pieces. In the back, we have our Owl spare tire and ladder kit that holds our spare tire and allows us access to the roof. And on the other side, we have the Sherpa Owl system with 2 one-up bike racks. We also added a tow hitch in the back here, so you can carry some small towables. On the roof, we have a Backwoods Drifter modular roof rack, which is a great roof rack you can customize however you want. On there, we have our walkable solar deck, as well as our Starlink that's set up there, our skylight, our AC, and our vent fan. We also have our Fiamma F45S awning mounted to the passenger side of this van, so that when the door is open, you can open that up and it expands your living room a ton. But this gives us a ton of shade here to be able to hang out outside of the van. So if you guys enjoyed this van, enjoy what we're making, what we're doing, what we're planning, please feel free to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you guys want. We're on all the platforms, and we'd love to have you guys follow our journey.
If you're thinking about building your own van, or you're already in the process of building your own van and you're overwhelmed by the process, we get that, we just did it. Yeah. So we are going to be offering design consulting, so you can just reach out through one of our socials or our email, and we'll be happy to get back to you.
And hopefully we can help you guys hone in and bring your vision to life. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this tour. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching, and we will see you on the road. Bye-bye.